welcome back to Let's Be Real Analysis series, and today we are bringing you up north all the way to Norwood Grand in Woodlands. Norwood Grand is an upcoming launch that will be launching really soon on the 4th of October. Booking date is on the 19th of October. It's developed by CDL, which is our Band 1 developer in Singapore. It is one of the most anticipated luxury launch in Woodlands in 12 years, so I believe there will be a lot of pent-up demand for this project itself. It comes with 348 units, a rather small to mid-sized kind of project, 4 blocks only of 11 story. It has an early childhood development center in the vicinity itself. Very good for parents with young kids. For unit type, it stretches from 1 beta plus study all the way to 4 premium plus study, which I will dive into shortly. TOP is actually in 2030 March. So by 2030, actually the RTS that links you from Woodlands North all the way to Johor would be ready already. So if you're someone that likes to go to JB for shopping and for food, it will be really good for you. So now looking at the direction map of Norwood Grand, we are actually located right over here, which is side by side beside the Innova Primary School. There will be a side gate here which takes you about 3 to 5 minutes walk to Woodlands South MRT. My own colleague actually timed her walk. Actually, it's about 1 minute plus you will reach the Woodlands South MRT. In terms of facilities, our nearest in terms of amenities, our nearest one will be Vista Point, which is over here. It's a neighborhood mall where you get your supermarket and also all your eateries in that area. We are actually one station only to Woodlands MRT, where you get Causeway Point, which is a mega mall. You can do your shopping over there, and also Wood Square for many offices and commercial and offices. And then another one more stop to Woodlands North area, which is the Woodlands Regional Centre, a new economic hub. Okay, so next, let's look at the MRT station from Norwood Grand. So for Norwood Grand, our nearest will be Woodlands South MRT. Previously, long time ago, it takes you about an hour plus or an hour from Woodlands for you to travel all the way to CBD or Orchard Road. But with this town line that is just 3 to 5 minutes walk away from Norwood Grand, it will take you only about 31 minutes to reach Orchard and 38 minutes to reach your CBD area. And like what I mentioned, the RTS completion is actually in 2027. So by the time Norwood Grand TOP, you also get the flexibility to travel to Johor Bahru with the easier transportation of RTS. So in terms of amenities, we are actually just a few minutes drive to Woodlands Health Campus, which is the Woodlands General Hospital. Previously, your nearest hospital would be at Khoo Puat. So with this Woodlands Health Campus, it is very convenient now. We are also close to multiple primary school. Innova Primary School will be the closest. We are also close to Junior College and Republic Poly, and also multiple parks, and also Causeway Point, which is just 1 MRT stop away. So now looking at this superimposed site map, we can see that we are actually surrounded by HDBs, but good thing about all this is actually the HDBs are not like the newer BTOs that are really high, 20 over story. In fact, most of them are actually between 10 to 13 story high only. So this is actually our site area. Innova Primary School is about 4th story high. The rest of the HDB, they are about 10 and 12 and 13 story high that is circling Norwood Grand. So for Norwood Grand itself, our highest floor will be 11th floor, and this will come into play later when I explain the site map. So now let's dive into the site map. Okay, for Norwood Grand, the main entrance is actually over here at the Champions Way area. So you'll be greeted by this nice arrival plaza, water courtyard, and a grand drop-off. It is actually very important, and it gives a luxury feel, especially with arrival plaza or like a grand drop-off area. And then the next one will be this area where it is the tranquil zone, where it features a tranquil swing, a tranquil lawn, a garden walk. So there's a lot of greens in this area. I think the more important area will be this zone right over here, which is the Grand Club area. It features a gym, a dance studio, which is on the level 2, and also a function room. It also comes with a tennis court, which is quite rare actually for smaller or mid-sized projects. Some of the projects actually don't come with like a proper tennis court, but this one does. And at 2 sides, actually, it features the barbecue pavilion, which is the east and west zone. Of course, you have a 50-meter lap pool in this area, pool deck, kids pool, and aqua deck. And then the next area that I want to bring to attention is actually the nature zone, which is this whole area technically. So it features a very interesting tree walk area, which is in this area, and also a tree house playground. So I believe that this tree house playground is likely for the sake of the childcare that is actually in the vicinity area. So I believe that this childcare, the kids in this childcare, they can actually go to the playground or this whole yoga lawn and lawn area easily. So it's pretty easy to understand the map itself. In terms of side gate, you actually have one over here. Once you exit already, it takes you about 3 to 5 minutes to the Woodlands South MRT. So now let's look at the unit distribution. We have 1 beta plus study all the way to 4 premium plus study. So for 1 bed plus study, we have about 31 units. 2 bedroom, we actually have 3 different layouts, which is 2 bedroom, which 2 bed 2 bath, 2 bed plus ensuite study, and 2 plus study. For 3 bedder deluxe, we actually have 2 different sizes. Smaller one at 872, bigger one at 883. 3 bedder plus study, 904 square feet, and for 3 bedder premium plus study, we actually have 2 different layout but both the same size, 1044 square feet. And then we have 1 4 bedroom deluxe and 2 more 4 bedroom premium, 2 different layout, 1113 square feet and 1335 square feet. In terms of distribution, 4 blocks itself is actually very well distributed. Most of them actually have 1 bedder all the way until 4 bedder. So now, without further ado, let's dive into 1 plus study. The moment you come to 1 plus study, there are only 3 stacked 31 units, which is at stack 4, stack 13 and stack 28, and they are mainly facing the HDB area. So on the right, you'll be able to see the floor plan. So for floor plan wise, the moment you enter, you get that kind of open concept kitchen that from the far you can see all the way to balcony, meaning to say that your whole living space will be very bright. Study area is actually tucked on the left side, and you have a Jack and Jill kind of toilet concept. Okay, so next thing we want to understand is how about the 1 bedder that is in Woodlands area and how they fare, right? So basically for Woodlands area, once Norwood Grand TOP, which is in 2030, Woodhaven will be the one of the youngest, which is already 15 years old by then, followed by Park Rosewood, which is 16 years old by then, and then Rosewood Suites, which is 19 years old. So these are the newer ones, and there are no units that are under 10 years old. So there are only 508 units of 1 bedder right now. As of 2 days ago, we actually only see that 23 units are for sale. So meaning to say that once Norwood Grand TOP, they are one of the youngest, which makes them very, very attractive in the market. Diving into the 1 bedder rental, looking at Woodhaven and Park Rosewood, which are 2 of the younger projects in Woodlands today, the average price is around 2,750 to 2,833. So let's take an average of 2,008 for Norwood Grand and see how you perform in today's market in terms of rental yield. So we have already counted for you. If let's say you were to buy Norwood Grand below $1 million, the rental yield you are looking at is likely 3.36 and above. So if you are considering to buy in for investment or for own stay and the unit is below $1 million, it is a good buy. Okay, now let's dive into 2 bedder. So for 2 bedder, there are 3 different kind of layouts. For B1 itself is actually a dumbbell layout, 624 square feet. There are actually 7 stacks in total. Most of them are either facing school or facing HDB. So they are either the HDB facing, or if not, they are the school facing. Dumbbell layout, enclosable kitchen, and they have a designated dining space, and there are no windows in the toilet. Okay, next is the 2 bedder ensuite study B1S layout. This is actually very rare because we only have 1 stack of this, which is at stack 14, faces the HDB area. There are only 11 units of it. So this is actually a traditional layout, and there are actually windows in the master bathroom toilet. One thing to highlight that I don't quite like is actually the master bedroom here, because number 1 is L-shaped. Number 2, the window over here is slightly smaller, and it is actually facing the study area, meaning to say that your master bed and your wardrobe area would be quite dark. Okay, and then for the third layout is actually the 2 bedder plus study, which is the B2S layout. So for this layout, generally it's more inwards facing. It's over here, stack 9, stack 8 and stack 1, they are actually facing the pool, and stack 20 is actually facing the lawn area or tranquil area before you actually faces the road. So for this one, it's actually quite nice because it's a traditional layout. Most people buying for own stay, they would generally prefer traditional layout whereby all the rooms are tucked at one side with more privacy. There is a proper designated study area. Unfortunately, there are actually no windows in the toilet. So these are some of the pros and cons between the 2 bedder all the way from the 2 bedder all the way to 2 plus study. Now let's look at the comparison between type B1 and type B1S, 624 square feet and 667 square feet. In terms of size, to me, I feel that they are almost about the same, and personally, actually, I prefer the dumbbell layout. And on top of that, I feel that, with a bigger window and also more lights coming in to the master bed area, I would prefer it more than this L-shaped kinda master bedroom, whereby I feel that it is dark because the window is slightly smaller and the master bed is actually tucked at the other end. So I would opt for the 624 square feet. So now let's compare the 624 and 710 square feet. For this one, I think it's pretty much very individual preference. It depends on the purpose that you are buying the unit for. Because for 710 square feet, you do get a proper kitchen and you do get a very, very private traditional layout. We have done a difference in terms of price calculation for you, taking the comparison price of 2002 PSF. So if you are getting into 624 square feet, you are looking at a 1.372 million. And if you are looking at a 710 square feet, you are looking at about $1.562 million. And the difference of it is about 190,000 for a more private study area and a traditional layout. So now let's compare 667 and 710. So for me, this one is a no-brainer. Again, I do not really like this layout that, the master bedroom is actually very dark. So I will actually go for the 710 square feet. So our top choice is, if you want to go for investment, I think you can look at 724 square feet. In terms of quantum, it will be a bit lower. Also, it's a dumbbell layout. Maybe you can actually rent it to two separate tenants, because this is actually a Jack and Jill bath. So this is one set of tenant, and then maybe this is the second set of tenant. For own stay, usually buyers prefer more traditional layout. I think you can actually opt for this, and it comes with a proper study area that you can convert it into maybe a bigger dining space as well. So now let's dive into our three-bedder analysis. Three-bedder, there are actually 5 different kind of layouts. 2 of them are actually compact. So first compact is actually 827 square feet, which is called a C1. We only have 2 stacks of them, and they are actually facing the school, meaning to say that if you buy above level 4, technically you clear the view of the school and you do get a far view. It comes with a more private foyer, although it's a 3 compact, but they managed to actually squeeze in a study area for you at the corridor area, and it also comes with all the necessary windows at the kitchen area and also the bathroom area. Next up is the C2 layout, which is 883, slightly bigger. In terms of actually the construction of the layout is pretty much the same. You do get the window in the more important area like kitchen and toilet. You do get the same kind of study area. The only difference is actually the foyer area. So this one you actually get 1 stack, which is facing the HDB area. And then comparing it between the 872 square feet and 883 square feet, actually, like what I mentioned, pretty much the same window in kitchen and both toilet. The only difference is actually more of the foyer area. This one, the smaller size 872, you do get a bit more privacy with this kind of foyer as compared to this kind of more open concept kind of foyer for 883 square feet. Layout of 3-bedder plus study, 904 square feet. So for this unit type, in terms of floor plan, the moment you enter from here is actually less private because you get to see the whole unit already in all direction, because this is a dumbbell layout. There are actually only 2 stacks of it, stack 21 and stack 16, and both of them are inward facing, so they actually might come with a premium. So with this kind of dumbbell layout, some people like it because it saves space. Some people don't really like it because it's a bit lack of privacy. So for this unit also, there are no windows in the kitchen area and also the bathroom area. So do take note on that. Now let's come to our top choice for 3-bedder. So for 3-bedder wise, the top choice pick will be the 827 square feet, because most of the time for buyers that enter into the market for 3-bedder, they are usually family, more for own stay, and most of the time they will actually appreciate this kind of traditional layout more than a dumbbell layout. Second is it actually comes with a more private foyer, which again buyers might appreciate a little bit more, and because it's smaller in size, quantum might be slightly lower. So we have did up the math for you. For example, 904 square feet, which is the 3-bed plus study, right? Most of them are inward facing. Likely developer will put up a premium for it. So let's take an example of 2250 as compared to the 872 square feet at 2200. The difference itself is about 115,000. So to spend $115,000 more for just a slightly bigger study area and no windows in the kitchen and bathroom, I would definitely pick 827 square feet. Now let's dive into 3 Premium Plus Study. So for 3 Premium Plus Study, there are actually 2 different layouts, almost identical, only difference at the foyer area, both of them in the same size, 1044 square feet. So this is how the floor plan actually looks like. Actually, personally, for the whole of Norwood Grand, this is one of my favorite layout. Number one is you do get a private foyer. Number two is you actually get this kind of like white landscape living, which is very similar to a lot of other projects for Beda. And on top of that, you actually get a portrait kind of balcony, which I think is good because sometimes you don't need that big of a balcony, so you kind of save this space in terms of cost wise. So for facing, there is only one stack, which is at stack 26, facing the school area, and this stack is actually quite premium in my opinion, because these are for Innova Primary School, if I'm not wrong, these are actually where all the school classes are, and then the big field is actually over here behind the classroom area. So if you clear level 4, technically speaking, your view is really very far and you look into the field of the school. So I think it's quite nice. Okay, for the other layout, pretty much is identical. The only difference is actually the foyer area, which this one is actually less private as compared to the C4PS layout. In terms of stack, 2 stack, stack 27 and stack 23. Stack 27 is looking at HDB and stack 23 is looking into the primary school area. Now that we understand the 3 Premium Plus Study layout, let's compare the 3 Plus Study with the 3 Premium Plus Study and to understand whether it's premium worth it. So first and foremost, 904 square feet is actually of a premium view. So let's just add $50 in this example due to the facing. And usually for bigger unit type, most of the time in terms of PSF, it might be lower. So we are comparing between 904 square feet with 2250 PSF and 1044 square feet with 2170 PSF. You are looking at a difference of 231,000, about 11% as a premium if you are getting a 3 Premium Plus Study. So now let's see if 11% is a fair premium. By looking at 2 case study, we've plucked out Lentor Mansion and Lentor Hill Residences because these 2 projects are 2 of the newer projects that are still in the market. So these are actually sold prices. Looking at the 904, which is non-premium, versus the 1023 square feet, which is a premium, you can see in order to upsize, the buyers are actually spending about 12.6% more. And for Lentor Hill, they are spending about 13.1% more. Meaning to say that if you are looking at Norwood Grand and if you are looking at a premium and the price is actually below 13%, I believe it's actually very safe for you to enter. So now let's look at some of the similar case study in the resale market. Affinity at Serangoon, which is a rather new condo that TOP not too long ago. So we are comparing between compact and also premium. So this person, when they go into a premium, they actually bought 10% more, but you can see that in terms of ROI, they also do earn more than the 3-bedder compact. So next case study is actually Garden Residences. Again, very near Affinity. Is also a new project that just TOP not too long ago. Similarly, they bought in at 11% higher for the premium, for the 3-bed plus study, which is a premium unit. But when they are selling it, when they bought in at the same time and so at the same time, the ROI is actually higher. Now let's look at the last project for comparison, Riverfront Residences. This premium is actually bought in 20% higher than the compact. But we also can see from the return on investment is actually much higher as compared to the compact as well. Is 3 Premium Plus Study worth the upgrade? So in my opinion, if let's say you have the capital for it, and if let's say the upgrade itself is actually below a certain percentage, like maybe below 13%, I do think that is a very safe entry price, and I do think that you should upgrade to the 3-bedder Premium Plus Study. For Beda, there are actually 3 different kind of layouts. So over here, 3 Deluxe Plus Study, which is the smallest in terms of size, 1173 square feet. You have the 4 Premium Plus Study in 2 different sizes, 1313 square feet and 1335 square feet. So in terms of difference, right, for 1173 square feet, you just need to take note that the 4th bedroom is actually slightly smaller. In terms of master bedroom, it doesn't come with like a walk-in wardrobe. Otherwise, pretty much most of the stuff remains the same. And also they don't come with an additional balcony, which is in the master bedroom. For 4 Premium Plus Study and 4 Premium Plus Study, 1313 square feet and 1335 square feet, they are almost identical. The only difference is actually at the foyer area. So now after you understand already, let's dive into the pros and cons. So for 4 Deluxe Plus Study, it comes in 2 different stacks, stack 11 and actually stack 6. They are actually facing the HDB, much smaller in size as compared to the other 2 4 Premium Plus Study. This is 1173 square feet. So it's actually much smaller. In terms of layout, it is actually very, very efficient. It has a study area, over here that comes with a window. It has an elongated kind of dining where you can actually fit in an 8-seater or even up to a 10-seater. There is actually very little wastage in terms of walkway area, and it has a very private entrance. In terms of quantum, it might be lower because the size itself is actually much smaller. The only cons is it comes with a smaller 4-bedroom. For the 4 Premium Plus Study 1313 square feet, the difference is it actually has a wider kitchen, it has a slightly bigger foyer area, a slightly bigger 4-room, the 4th bedroom, and also it comes with a balcony in the master room and the walk-in wardrobe. Other than that, in terms of con, I feel that there's a lot of wasted space here in terms of the foyer wasted space, and there's also additional balcony here. Some people might not need 2 balconies. In terms of PSF, it might be slightly higher because it comes in 5 different stacks, and these stacks are all mostly premium facing. Lastly is 1335 square feet, which is another 4 Premium Plus Study layout. This is pretty much identical to the 1313 square feet. The only difference is it comes with an even bigger foyer area. Personally, I don't think that one would need such a big foyer space. So I think that definitely, to me, is a con itself. PSF might be also higher because it's a premium facing. Same thing, it has a wider kitchen, it has a walk-in wardrobe, it has a private foyer, and it has a study area that comes with a window as well. So, and also a bigger 4th room. So now let's compare the 1173, which is a 4-room deluxe plus study, to the 1313, which is the 4 Premium Plus Study. So here are the difference in terms of stack facing. The 1173, generally they are road facing. For the 1313, these are the premium facing, and these are the lawn facing before they reach the HDB site. Okay, so now let's dive into the comparison. For 1173, because the facing is actually road facing, likely there might be a bit of a discount in terms of due to the facing. So let's take an example of minus 30 PSF at 2170 PSF. Okay, and for premium, because most of them are actually a premium facing, so we are using a 2200 PSF. In terms of difference in premium, we are looking at about 343,000 difference between a 1173 and a 1313. So maybe you can answer this question: is it worth it to pay almost 350,000 more for maybe a walk-in wardrobe, a slightly bigger 4th bedroom, an additional balcony in the master room, and an elongated kind of foyer area? And if you are comparing 1173 to the next one, which is 1335, the premium will be even higher. So you are looking at about 391,000, almost 400,000 more for similar kind of layout with the addition of walk-in wardrobe, additional balcony, bigger 4th bedroom, and an even longer foyer. So in my own opinion, I would say that number one, I will go for my number one choice would be the 1173 square feet. Number 2 choice would be the 1313 square feet, and my third choice would be the 1335 square feet for the 4-bedder. So now let's move into the bonus segment where we compare the 3 or 4-bedder, because we understand that some family, you don't technically need a 4th room. You can actually go for a 3-bed plus study, so which makes more sense for you. So now let's compare 1044 square feet, which is the 3-bed premium, versus the 1173 square feet, which is the 4 deluxe plus premium. In terms of size, you realize that they are not too big of a difference. For the 3-bedder wise, you have 2 stacks that are facing school, 1 stack that is facing the road. For the smaller 4-bedder wise, you have 2 stacks that are all facing the road. So understanding this is important. For 3 Premium Plus Study, okay, 1044 square feet, we are using a 2200 PSF as an example because they do get like a premium kind of view. For the 4 Deluxe, because it's slightly bigger already and they only have road view, so we are using 2170, a 30% discount due to facing. So looking at this, between 1044 square feet and 1173 square feet, the premium that you are paying for a 4-bedroom is actually 248,000. Actually, that is quite reasonable if let's say you need a 4th bedroom, and if your family is big enough that you need a bigger dining space, you need a 4th bedroom, then you probably might need to go for the 4 Deluxe Plus Study. So this one is really very personal depending on your family profile. But if you are looking at 3 premium plus study 1044 square feet versus the 4 premium plus study at 1313 square feet, the whole ball game actually changed. Because for 4 premium plus study, they are actually a more premium facing, so we use back the same 2200 PSF as an example. So you are looking at a premium of almost 600,000 more just for a bigger dining space, a walk-in wardrobe and a balcony. Personally, I don't feel that is worth it. And if you look at 1044 versus 1335, that would be even worse. The premium itself will be about 640,000 for even longer for a year. So in conclusion, if let's say your family profile is slightly bigger, you need a bigger dining area, you need a 4th bedroom, then you can actually go for the 4 Deluxe Plus study because in terms of premium, it is not too big of a difference. But if you have a smaller family type, I would say that just go for the 3 Premium Plus study because it comes with a landscape layout where more lights actually gets to come in through the living area. You get a more spacious kind of living space. Technically, if you don't need a 4th bedroom or a bigger dining space, I think 3 Premium Plus study is more than enough. So we've come to the end of our analysis. I hope you find this analysis interesting. If you want to understand more or learn more about Norwood Grand or any other project, do feel free to reach out to me here. Thank you. We'll see you next time.